The 4 Agreements. Part 2. The second agreement. Don't take anything personally. There is a moment you've lived over and over again. A moment where a look, a silence, a delayed message, a shift in tone suddenly feels like proof that you've done something wrong. Your mind spirals, your breath tightens, you brace for impact even though nothing has actually happened. But what if the moment you've feared your whole life, the moment you keep taking personally, was never really about you at all? Tonight, we unravel the illusion that has shaped the way you see yourself in every room you've ever entered. Welcome to MindShift Chronicles. Walk with us into deeper awareness. Conscious content warning. Before we begin, a gentle invitation. Slow your breathing. Let your shoulders fall. Let your mind loosen its grip on whatever it was holding before you pressed play. This chapter moves through the emotional patterns you inherited long before adulthood. Patterns created in childhood rooms you never understood, while listening to tones you didn't know how to decode. If you feel emotion rise, don't push it away. Let it surface. Let it breathe. This is not a lecture. This is an unraveling. This is part 2 of our 4-part journey into the 4 Agreements by Don Miguel Ruiz. Tonight, we explore the second agreement, the one that breaks the oldest emotional habit you've ever carried. Don't take anything personally. This agreement is not just a mindset, it is an unlearning. A gentle rebellion against every story that ever convinced you were responsible for someone else's storm. Section 1. The core concept. There is a quiet pattern woven into your life. Something shifts in another person. Their voice, their attention, their mood, and your nervous system reacts instantly. A tightening, a sinking, a story forming in the span of a breath. I upset them. They're disappointed in me. I must have done something. I'm the reason this changed. You interpret their behavior as a reflection of your worth, and this reflex runs so deep that you no longer see it happening. But here is the truth that rarely reaches us until adulthood. Most of what people do has nothing to do with you. Their tone reflects their day. Their silence reflects their mind. Their reaction reflects their story, not your identity. The second agreement invites you to step back from the center of the narrative, to stop assuming every emotional ripple is a wave you caused. It asks you to understand that people operate from their own internal weather, not from your actions. And once you feel this truth in your bones, your entire emotional world begins to shift. Section 2. What this agreement truly means. Don't take anything personally is not permission to detach from people or shut down emotionally. It does not mean you ignore feedback or refuse accountability. It means you stop turning people's behavior into a verdict on your worth. People react from their beliefs, their fears, their patterns, their conditioning, their exhaustion, their nervous system, their past. They are filtering you through lenses you did not create. Someone reacts with anger, but maybe their anger is a shield. Someone reacts with judgment, but maybe their judgment protects them from their own insecurity. Someone reacts with distance, but maybe distance is their childhood survival pattern that they've never questioned. When you stop taking things personally, you stop absorbing their projections as truth. You stop believing that every look, every pause, every sigh contains a hidden accusation. You begin to understand a simple but freeing reality. Everyone is carrying an invisible world, and that world is shaping their behavior far more than your actions ever will. Section 3. Why this agreement is difficult for most people. if this agreement feels impossible, you are not alone. You learned to take things personally long before you could speak. As a child, you did not know that adults had stress unrelated to you. You did not know that their moods were shaped by work, relationships, money, trauma, and their own inner storms. All you saw was behavior, a raised voice, a distant expression, a slammed door, a sigh that felt too heavy. And because children make everything about themselves, your nervous system recorded, if they are upset, it's my fault. If they are distant, I caused it. If they are unpredictable, I must be careful. This survival pattern followed you into adulthood. Now, when someone pulls away, your body reacts before your logic does. You feel it in your chest, your stomach, your throat. The second agreement is not teaching you a new idea. It is unwinding your oldest conditioning. That takes awareness, compassion, and time. Section 4. Psychological and emotional mechanics. Most people are not responding to reality. They are responding to the meaning they assign to reality. They are responding to echoes of their past. They are responding to fear, to memory, to pattern, to instinct. Here's what really happens when someone reacts. 1. Their nervous system fires first, before thought, before analysis, before intention. Often, you trigger something they don't even understand. 2. Their ego makes a story based on past wounds, previous betrayals, old insecurities. 3. The behavior emerges through that story. This is why two people can experience the same moment but respond entirely differently. One sees danger. One sees nothing. One shuts down. One feels fine. You are not responsible for someone else's internal map. You did not draw it. When you take things personally, you try to navigate a map that isn't yours and doesn't reflect you. Not taking things personally means returning the map to its owner with grace. Section 5. Internalizing the lesson. Expanded plus emotional depth. Awareness is the first step, but it's not enough. You must learn to pause between the trigger and the interpretation. Someone pulls away. Your reflex fires. Pause. Someone is short with you. Your chest tightens. Pause. Someone forgets to reply. Your mind spirals. Pause. In that pause, ask, what else could this be? What might they be carrying? What if their reaction has nothing to do with me? This question is your emotional reset button. It helps your brain step out of survival mode and into clarity. Then bring the truth into your body. Their story is not my identity. Say it softly, say it slowly. Say it until something inside you loosens, because this is the moment your nervous system begins to learn a new pattern. Section 6. Real life application. Real freedom comes from applying this agreement to the everyday moments that used to hold you hostage. Scenario 1. The delayed response. You send a heartfelt message. You watch the screen. Minutes pass. Hours. Your stomach tightens. Your reflex whispers, they're ignoring me. They're done with me. But pause. Consider the world they may be carrying. Exhaustion, stress, illness, grief, overwhelm. Life happening too quickly. Your worth is not measured in response times. Scenario 2. Someone's mood changes. Suddenly, they were warm. Now they're cold. Your mind jumps in. I ruined it. What did I do wrong? But their shift may be something they don't even understand. A flashback, a worry, a pressure point, a fear of losing control. Their mood is a map of their inner landscape, not your mistakes. Scenario 3. A partner seems distant. They're quiet tonight, not as engaged. The room feels different. Your reflex says they're pulling away. I must have done something. But pause. They may be trying to regulate something heavy. They may be protecting you from their stress. They may be overwhelmed by pressures you know nothing about. Distance is often self-preservation, not rejection. Scenario 4, someone criticizes you harshly. It cuts deeper than you expect. You freeze, your throat tightens. But harshness is almost always a mirror of their own pain. People who speak with softness often have gentleness inside them. People who speak with cruelty often carry wars they have never resolved. Their words are not a measurement of your worth. They are proof of their wounds. Scenario 5. Someone leaves you. This one hurts the most. A friend fades. A lover retreats. A relationship ends. Immediately you ask, what was wrong with me? Why wasn't I enough? But most departures are self-protection, not evaluation. People leave because they fear intimacy. They fear being seen. They fear repeating childhood pain. They doubt their own value. They are overwhelmed by emotions they've never learned to hold, or because loving you required them to grow in ways they weren't ready for. Their leaving speaks about their limits, not your inadequacy. If this message is landing in your body, if you can feel pieces shifting as you listen, take a moment to like this video and subscribe. It helps this journey reach more people who are still carrying blame they never should have held. Section 7. Spiritual perspective. Spiritually, the second agreement is a profound awakening. It teaches that every person is living inside a dream shaped by their fears, their conditioning, their interpretations, their internal weather. When someone reacts to you, you are witnessing their dream, not your identity. You stop asking, why did they do this to me? And begin asking, what dream are they living in? Suddenly, their behavior stops feeling personal. You understand that you cannot carry the projections that were never yours. You stop tying your worth to the eyes of others. You stop needing approval to feel real. You begin resting in a quieter truth. I am whole whether they see me or not. Section 8. How this agreement changes relationships. Relationships soften when you stop taking things personally. You stop assuming. You stop attacking others for feelings they never expressed. You stop interpreting every shift as danger. Instead, you ask questions. You become curious instead of reactive. Present instead of defensive. Your partner no longer feels responsible for managing your anxiety. Your friends no longer feel punished for being human. Your relationships become safer for both sides. And you begin to experience what connection feels like when interpretation is replaced with clarity. Section 9. Why this agreement creates emotional freedom. Imagine living a life where you no longer collapse every time someone looks away. Imagine no longer fearing that every silence is a sign you failed. Imagine no longer interpreting other people's storms as proof that you caused the rain. This agreement dissolves the invisible chains you've been wearing for years. You stop being held hostage by other people's emotional weather. You stop being controlled by reactions that were never about you. You stop seeking validation in the hearts of people who may not even know how to validate themselves. Emotional freedom is not about controlling the world. It's about no longer needing to. It is an inner steadiness that stays with you no matter what shifts around you. Section 10. Returning to the core message. Let's return to the truth at the center. Nothing others do is because of you. Not their anger, not their silence, not their distance, not their leaving. People behave from the inside out, not the outside in. When you stop taking things personally, you stop carrying the weight of their storms. You carry only yourself. And that is more than enough. Breathe. Let the world fall away for just a moment. You are not responsible for the shadows in someone else's heart. You are not responsible for the wounds you didn't create. You do not have to collapse under the weight of misunderstandings that were never yours to decode. You are allowed to stand tall inside yourself, to let others feel what they feel without turning it into a story about you. This is the second agreement. This is your liberation. Thank you for watching, for listening deeply, and for walking this path with us. If you're ready to take the next step, Part 3 is waiting for you. We'll see you in the next chapter. A final bit of wisdom. May you find the strength to stop carrying storms that were never meant to live inside you.